Welcome everybody to the perfect chapter, chapter 1. In most cases, students leave this chapter to the very end. That's correct. Why? Because in most cases, your proposal automatically turns into chapter 1. However, you need to tweak this chapter. You need to tweak this proposal a little bit and make it a perfect chapter. Chapter 1 is your introduction. It serves as the introductory chapter or a prefatory chapter of your thesis. It is a crucial chapter because it is the first thing that the examiners will read. It is very important to make a good impression first time. They always say first impression is the best impression. So you can't miss up this opportunity. It's the first chapter gives you the opportunity for you to make the first impression to the examiners. Show the examiners that you really know what you want to do. So what am I going to do here? In this presentation, I'm just going to describe how to write a clear and a well-articulated chapter 1. That is the only focus of this presentation. A perfect chapter, it captures the examiner's interest. That's what is very important. That's what we want you to do with this chapter. I can talk so many things, but the most important thing is you need to capture the examiner's interest. And also when you are writing this chapter, you need to assume that the examiner know nothing about your topic. However, you need to know that examiners are expert in their area. When I was reading, I just came across this diagram by Radhakrishna 2008. It's also very important for you to go and write this and go and read for yourself. But mainly, this diagram explains the topic approach to writing a research proposal. If you have not listened that video on the cheat sheet approach to writing a research proposal, go and listen them, and you can understand better about this con. I'll explain 6 steps to chapter 1, or 6 steps that you need to follow when you're writing your chapter 1. The first step, you need to focus on the broader aspect of the thesis. If you recall, your con is the top part of that con. So you need to focus on the broader aspect of the study. Then from there you go down as you focus. The next thing is you focus now on your research problem. And what is a research problem? That is now step number 2. Step number 2, focusing on a research problem. And I said research problem is a specific issue or problem in existing knowledge that we aim to address in your study. You don't forget to visit the cheat sheet to research problem formula. I'll come back again with a presentation on the cheat sheet on formulating research problem. And take note that when you're formulating research problem, just one thing that you need to note is a good research problem is a problem that addresses a knowledge gap, significant enough to contribute to the existing literature. If your problem is too small that it does not contribute, does not give meaningful contribution to the body of knowledge, at times it's better for you to drop it. A good research problem should lead to further researches. You can't. You have to make some recommendation of further researches. It renders itself into investigation through data collection. You must go out there to collect data, come back, analyze it, and make some conclusions from that data, and should be interest to the researcher and suit his skill, time, and resources. Don't write a research problem. Don't come out with a research problem that is so huge that you can't meet it, given your skills, given your time, and given your research your resources. And also you need to make sure that it also a good research problem also take note or also consider issues of ethics or ethical issues. Otherwise you won't be given permission to go and collect data. Then step number 3 is listing your objective. The most important thing is you to list the objective. You need to list them as 1, 2, 3, or you need to bullet them in your study. Then make sure that you have got at least 3 to 4, and out of those 3 to 4 or 5 objectives, make sure that you've got an objective that focuses more on your theoretical framework. You've got an objective that also focuses on your literature review. Most students, they ignore that part. You cannot ignore that part. It's part of your research. So you need also to make sure that you put the objective that caters for those 2 areas of your study. Then also you need to put your research questions that correspond with your research objective. Then don't forget about your hypothesis if you are using a quantitative study. So it's very important for you to take note of that. I have introduced the Bloom's taxonomy in this area, but please take note. I'll come back to you with the Bloom's taxonomy when I'm discussing original contribution of the study. Research methodology, step number 4. You need to tell us in just in brief scope of the study, research paradigm. I'll come back to you with research paradigm, then research approaches. Is the study going to utilize quantitative or qualitative, the population, target population, sample size, and sampling techniques. We're going to talk about sample size, sampling techniques in depth as well, data collection, procedures, tools, and analysis. We're going to talk about that, research reliability and validity. You also need to mention that these are also very important topics that you need to highlight in chapter 1. Then, most important, theoretical and conceptual framework. I will not leave this one. This is very important because most people, they think they can go out there and do their study without a theoretical framework, without a conceptual framework. That's wrong. That's wrong. Don't take that approach. You rather look for a theoretical framework. You rather look for a conceptual framework that narrows your study, that guides your study. And I've talked about that. You need to explain it. You need to outline it the way you want to do it. It's up to you. And you need to explain to us how you intend to use that in your study. And take note: a good fit theoretical framework is a theory that fits your topic, that fits to your problem, objective, and methodology. And I've said a good theoretical framework provides a systematic, a scientific, a structured way of thinking about your research problem or question. If you are arguing about your research problem, or you are talking about your research problem, and you leave your theoretical framework out, then it means it's either you do not understand the theoretical framework or you have chosen the wrong theoretical framework. So it's very important for you to take note about theoretical framework. If you have not listened about the presentation on theoretical framework, I advise you to go and listen that, so that it will be on the same page. Then originality is very important. This is very important, especially for the PhD students. Originality is actually key. So you need to detail how your research is going to make a contribution or original contribution. And you need to demonstrate the main reason why your research will make that significant contribution to the current body of knowledge. We need to know that. You can do that by demonstrating the gaps, the limitation in the existing literature, and show us how your research is actually going to address to that. Then you need also to do definition of terms and concepts. It's very important because whatever people the day-to-day way they talk in life it might not be exactly what you as an academic define those terms. So it's very important for you to end or to conclude your chapter by operational definition, and tell us the limitation, and also tell us the assumption. It's actually very important for you to do all those things. I also I just want to highlight as well that it is important to show the reviewer that you have arrived to your research problem or study, especially from how you have arrived to it. So it's very important for you to make sure that you review your literature well from the word go. And it's actually very important for you to know that this is the first point whereby you are selling your document, you are selling your thesis to your reviewer. So you need to make sure that you do that by providing relevant information, by providing information that your reviewer understands where exactly you want to go with your study. After finishing reading chapter 1, your reviewer should be able to guess what to expect in the next chapters. Then the most important thing is about the text synthesis. If you have not listened to the video on text synthesis, please visit it. It's very important for you to be able to synthesize well. That is key. Synthesize. There is need for you to review multiple sources, so many sources, but you also need to synthesize those sources. You can't transfer information from sources into your document. You can't paraphrase, Paraphrasing is not synthesizing. Summarizing is not synthesizing. So you must learn the skill of synthesizing. You must master that skill of synthesizing if you want to make sure that your academic life becomes easy, and if you want to make sure that whatever you write, your supervisors will appreciate, or your examiner at the end of the day will put a smile on his or her face after marking your work. So it's very important for you to learn the trick of synthesizing. Don't put too much of the quotation. We don't want too much of quotations, because actually it shows that you have not mastered the skill of synthesis. So it's very important that you master the skill of synthesis and you do it right. And it's very important for you to take note again. Let me emphasize once more that the introduction chapter, the perfect chapter, you need to make sure that you write it well, because a well-written is important to attract and sustain the interest of the reviewer. And it's not an easy chapter to write. Most people think it's a very easy chapter to write. It's not. It gives a lot of challenges for you to come out with one perfect chapter. Thank you.